What's going on, guys? Connor on Chain, bringing you guys some more altcoins. Just gonna be talking about the market in general. Gonna drop a bunch of just solid low caps. That have been on my radar for a while that I've talked about before. Some of them I haven't really talked about recently. I'll bring up a few micro caps. We're just gonna get into it because the market has just been very sideways over the last even like week to 2 weeks. Bitcoin literally was in a range. Aside from breaking it, my like tiny bull trap here, came back down, dumped, and now it's right back up. A lot of people are calling this for like this to be the bottom, which I don't know. I don't know what you want to call it here, but in my opinion, Bitcoin is still in a range here. We could see price surge either direction right now. Because like I say in all my videos, I'm calling for more downside at some point throughout the next month, 2, 3 months. But after that, that's it. I don't think this was the dump. Again, this could be completely wrong, guys, but this is what I've been calling for based on previous analysis. But Bitcoin's just again, it's chilling, kind of ranging, pretty range bound, and we've seen a bunch of altcoins, actually kind of fly over the last week, 2 weeks. But at the same time, there's been a lot of them that have dumped. A lot of them have came down pretty like hard. And this one I don't really talk about really at all. But we had BitTensor, Tau. Tau was run like crazy in the last, couple days mainly. It's ripping. But yeah, someone was calling this in my Patreon, asking me what like to get into. Getting in on the dip too, and I kind of faded that. Definitely missed on that. I honestly thought this was gonna come up, maybe come bounce again, but it ended up going right up. So potentially, this is just a powerhouse. I think on any major dip with these, especially like top 100, top 200 coins, what I've seen or what I've been seeing is, if you're just getting in on major dips, on very revolutionary, groundbreaking projects like this, you can't go wrong just getting into these like that. Like a project like Tau, even Render, any major dip is just gonna get eaten up, and it'll just continue, like regardless of market conditions half the time. I swear. But anyways, we got Bitcoin doing its thing. ETH is still ranging as well. I feel like there really just hasn't been a full out direction the market has wanted to go yet. And like I've stated before, I still want to see some downside potentially, but at the same time, a lot of like smaller caps have been falling pretty heavily. Another one too, which I love to see, we got IXS. IXS is now down to 32 million, guys. This is like unbelievable levels of entry for IXS. This is, in my opinion, one of the top RWA coins you can buy on the market, especially at prices right now. It's definitely going to be DCAing into this, just holding steady with something like this. I've already DCA'd into this one multiple times. But this is definitely a banger project. I love this one. And also even the projects I just talked about in the videos, previous. I talked about Fidium. We got Phi, Powerhouse, Token Site. Right now it's still new. Token Site, I feel like it hasn't got the hype that it needs yet. But eventually I can see the market really picking up on that. And I like that protocol. There's really not that much, if any, negatives that I personally see. But yeah, IXS was here. We got Olos to another huge AI project. It's around $5. This one's been kind of chilling here. It's had a nice, huge run from October to now. It did have a nice dip, but it dipped under $4, which is a great entry. It's been kind of bouncing, and I wouldn't be surprised if a double bottom hits for this bounce if it comes back down around 4. Again, I even like a project like Olas. I think groundbreaking. This is gonna pull. This will go to multi-billions. I have zero doubt in my mind. In between 5 to 10 billion for a project like this is gonna be. I really think it'll be in the books. So I think what they would do is they work with AI agents. I won't get into it really at all, but deal with a lot of AI agents, infrastructure behind it too. But I think that's going to be one of the main narratives in AI that's actually very feasible for the bull run. Because we have, all this different technology and stuff being developed with AI, in whatever industry, science to, well, I don't even know, math, whatever. But as far as AI and technology that can actually be used very short term or very near term, AI agents are not far off. Having literal businesses operate based on, I guess like mini bots that operate and do different functions of a business so humans basically don't have to do a lot of work. That's like the gist of just, I guess, AI agents in general. That's what I mean by like near term technology. Because we could see stuff like, like genetics and, science, stuff like that, and how AI can affect that, but that's very niche. And again, a lot of that technology, that might take years to 10 years for that to really come into fruition. But I mean, with something like that, I don't know. Definitely not 10 years because AI is accelerating at disgusting rates right now. It's unbelievable. But yeah, bottom line, I think Autonolas 2, Render, so just the top AI coins. Yeah, I don't think you guys can lose in those. Another one too I wanted to bring up, TRAC on ordinals. I don't think anyone realizes how big this project I really think is going to be. It is the infrastructure that they are providing, that they've already been providing. In the future of what they're building too, they're going to be bringing runes into it. Which is going to be a whole new meta protocol. Around just Bitcoin DeFi here. TRAC is going to be the project. Benny the dev. Shout out the dev. I don't even know if it's multiple people, as far as on the team. I assume, but I know Benny is like the main developer for it. I mean, sitting at 100 million, guys, like it's still. This is free. This is basically free. Like this, I wouldn't even be surprised to see this sitting at like 100 to multiple $100 in the bull run. $232 sits in my head, and it's been sitting in my head for like a month. $232, seeing TRAC at that level, I don't know why. But I don't know. I can see this ripping. Multiple billions, zeroed out in my mind. But again, these are like more, like pretty high cap for my taste. Like basically to everyone else, or to, if you're investing normally in like major projects, like yeah, this is still considered a low cap, but in my opinion, anything above like 60 million, 100 million is kind of like a high cap to me. But right, TRAC it's just a gem. You can't lose investing in it too. And they got Tap protocol coming as well, or not even Tap coming. It's already out, but airdrop for Tap tokens, just for holding TRAC too, which is crazy. So it's like the opportunity is crazy in the market right now. And something I want to bring up is this is outside of mainly different narratives and stuff, but I want to pull up Solana here. I pulled it up on let me see if my trading view will actually let me load it up. But when it comes to, I was kind of doing some just checking out charts from previous cycles, and I was watching Solana's chart actually from when it came out to 2020. I think March 2020 is when Solana came out. And when it launched, it only launched at a couple million in market cap. So it was actually, yeah, this is not going to work today. Look at that. That's crazy. But anyways, when Solana launched, it launched sitting at around maybe a few million. Excuse me. A few million in market cap in between, let's say 3 to 10. When it launched, it kind of chilled out, did whatever. And that was when I think it was still under $1. And it was out like that for maybe right around here. Yeah, for maybe a couple months. In August is when it started ramping up. Yeah, we can even look at the market cap here. I think it'll show it too. Yeah, so in April of 2020, don't worry, I'm gonna get into this just to show you guys like the scale of what's gonna happen like throughout the rest of this year, and why it's important to find gems and get into projects even at levels like this that we're talking about now. So this is Solana, like I said, April 10th. I guess this is when CoinGecko started tracking it. So what is it? 675 million in market cap, 4 million, 10. So that was, we can't even see on the chart. This is when I talk about when you look at the charts, how when you're usually worried about heavy dips in the market, when you're dealing with top projects that have great utility, when you actually zoom out to see what the hell you're looking at, this is when the bull run hits. This is what we're zooming out to see. Where you were worried over here, on whatever coin it was, about buying, this pixel or this pixel here that I can't even pinpoint with my mouse. Just trying to get a couple million in market cap low or something. But again, if you're playing the very long term game for the cycle, it doesn't matter. If you can wait and get in for a little bit better of an entry, do it, go ahead. But anyways, like I said, Solana was down here, beginning of the bull run. So the halving happened, I think, in April. So right around the halving is when Solana was actually launched. It launched at a very low cap. But a couple months after the halving, into about a year, it went from a few million, 10 million, 20 million. Its first major move started going 100, maybe 100 something million. Had a big retracement, I'm pretty sure, to 60, 70, so around 60, 70% down from its all-time high, from this minor dip down here, until it really until it really pumped over here. And so right in 2021, everything just took off, and it sent it into billions, 2 billion, 4, 20, 30, and then it ended up pulling what we know into, what was this though? So that was July of 2021. This doesn't even account for the rest. That was right here. So this is the pump months after the halving, guys. This wasn't even the full extent to where Solana went. And obviously it was a top project that, performed unbelievably, but this is going to be the same type of scenario that most altcoins are going to go through. It's going to be waves. That's how this market works, at least in the bull run for now. Then this hit 12 billion. Imagine that down here, the first major moves it had, what did it do? It was sitting from a few million, 10, 20 million, it went to 100 something million, retraced to 60 million. That's what a lot of coins right now, somewhere around that range, are doing. This is not accounting for the next actual move and leg up. This hits 12 billion, retraces to around 7 billion, 8 billion. And then what does it do on its final leg up at the end of 2021? Look at this. This hits 72 billion. That is unbelievable when it comes to scale, and it's just ridiculous. Again, this is kind of an outlier because Solana was a highly top performer. That didn't even make sense, but one of the top performers, I think, in the last bull run. But bottom line, what I'm trying to say is projects like we see with TRAC here. I'm not saying is TRAC gonna pull something like this. I don't know, but I know for a fact that this has the potential to pull something like that. I'm not gonna lie. This was that first pump. Let's see what the market cap was too. Literally, this is the framework for what Solana did. I'm not even joking. Look, sitting at 5, 6 million, upwards of 10. What is it? Its first pump hit 145 million. It's retracing. Maybe this does retrace as hard as Solana did in that first pump and then dump before, its actual leg up and then a major leg up. So in my opinion, this is kind of what's going to be coming for TRAC. And I think the reason why is because TRAC is the leader in the Bitcoin DeFi space. It is. I actually think it's programmed to go to multiple billions. My price targets I feel like are very, I guess, like underwhelming for the most part in a lot of coins, but I feel like I don't take into account like these top movers. And I think TRAC itself is going to be a top performer. And I feel like I don't talk about it enough. I've been holding. I literally minted TRAC. I minted TRAC way back in, I don't know, April, May, June of 2023. And I sold a lot of my bag, but I'm holding a good chunk of it too. And I plan on holding this in well into 2025 because I'm playing it based off the same kind of moves, same kind of waves. This was like the pre-leg of the bull run. This from here to wherever it retraces before the actual bull run starts. And what I mean by that is, people consider the bull runs here already, which I get. But again, most of that stuff started after the halving, a few months after the halving. It's still, I guess, just over 2 months until the halving even hits, let alone waiting a few more months for the halving to, or for Bitcoin price to actually price in the halving. So we're still well into a few months before I would say a major next leg up would happen. But again, just looking at TRAC alone, has the potential to run to multi-billions. I would not be surprised if TRAC pulls some sort of Solana type move, especially with a lot of new money that's going to flow in. It doesn't have to, Solana was a top performer, but again, TRAC is one of the go-to coins on Bitcoin. I really don't see a coin that's going to perform better than TRAC, I think, in the long run, as long as they deliver, as long as things go to plan. Because like I said, guys, Solana, what did it run from? It ran from, when we were looking at it's, let's say this was Solana's like first minor pump before we even saw the chart. It went from maybe 100 million down to like 60 million it retraced. Its next leg up hit 14 billion, I think, retraced to 7 billion. And then it went to over $30-40 billion. I'm not saying TRAC can hit anything like that. I don't know. But what I can say is that the next leg up, especially for BRC20s, especially for even TRAC itself, I feel like as the market leader for what it is going to be insane. So I honestly, even my price target earlier said 232. Like that might be way too conservative, But honestly, when TRAC, I was looking at a TRAC at 30 cents when I sold some of my bag at like 30 cents. Literally, I'm like, I faded a lot of wealth out here. Literally, I think it was down here. Literally before like this, I don't even remember. But anyways, it's just bottom line, TRAC is going to make a killing. Like I talk about so many coins like TRAC, Gem, Olas, Gem. All these ones I'm talking about, just gems. IXS, Gem. Just giving these out for free, guys. Like, do I think, RWAs are going to have their own gigantic run too later this year at some point? I think anything in the narrative is going to pump multiple times over the span of the next year and a half. Probably going to do the same thing. Every single narrative is going to have their time, and that's when you want to capitalize and start taking profits on too. But just keep in mind, because it's like even for many people that want to start getting out in the bull run when it hits, I'll be playing it. I'll probably be cashing out based on time frame and when the market really is bullish, which in my opinion is going to be sometime early to mid 2025, is going to be just a general time frame where you need to be looking to cash out. You really shouldn't be looking for brand new launches unless you can get in early or you're getting in on great dips, which I think when the full-blown bull is here, I don't think it, like, trying to find gems and stuff is going to be very difficult, but at the same time, I feel like it's going to be pretty easy because every single coin is going to be pumping, I think, harder than it ever will. I think we're going to see, like, historical pumps across the board. But yeah, that's what I got for you guys today. I've been just very bullish. Like I know I feel like I'm very bearish on my videos, but that's mainly because I want to see Bitcoin still drop one more time, even over the next 3 months, because that's just gonna be an unbelievable entry for everybody. And that's kind of how I'm playing this out right now. It's just you got to just play the long game. Like I could be trading meme coins on Solana every 2 hours. But I don't do that like full time. That's not my thing. I could be trying to find micro caps to ape every day and stuff, but you know it depends on what the market's doing. And right now, I think the most important thing is to be allocating what you have into the strongest bags possible. And that's where my research is coming in. So as of right now, that's what I got for you guys today. So make sure, honestly, if you guys just don't have TRAC, I think I think it's a no-brainer to get TRAC. Not financial advice, please do your own research, but absolute gem. Sitting even at 100 million market cap, gem. But that's what I got for you guys. Appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one.